Hey guys, Tarke here, and for today's update we're going to show off some mapping content and kind of go through where my Tarke Asenath's Chant Essence Drain build is currently at. Before we jump into the maps, I'll just quickly show you my gear so you've got a rough idea of where we're at. We're on a level 19 Tarke in a 5-link with Life Tap, Vicious Proj, Void Manipulation, Swift Affliction, and we've got a GMP Life Tap, Control Destruction, Essence Drain in the helmet. If any of my gems or anything seem a bit weird, it's because I've just been focusing on catching up in levels because we rerolled. Withering, Blink, that's just movement. And then in the chest, this is kind of silly. We've got a increased AoE Spell Cascade Despair set up. And I've got the only damage I have on my entire gear is this +1 on the amulet and this +2 bow. I haven't even managed to unlock the Chaos Multicraft, which has been quite funny. I've gone for a Betrayal Spect Atlas so I could get all my Betrayal crafts, and I haven't got the one Betrayal craft I need. Hopefully it comes sooner rather than later, but we'll get there when we get there. So we're very much on like a very minimum level of gear right now. We haven't got any cluster jewels or anything. So what you're seeing, of course, we get the harvest in the first map of the recording. It always happens. Maybe we'll actually do that one. So yeah, what you're kind of seeing is like the absolute like floor in terms of gear. This is the bare minimum you can have. But even with that, it's been cozy. I jumped into reds. I've only been doing like 11s and 12s, but I jumped into them quite quickly on this character. So yeah, I'm like 85. I think I started today's session in Act 9, and I've probably been playing for maybe 6 hours today, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. And in that time, we finished off the last 2 acts. And then pretty much, yeah, just went straight from white maps. Started in 5s because the build felt pretty solid. Chilled in tier 5s for a bit. And was like, we can probably jump up to 10s, jump straight up to 10s. Hung about in 10s for a minute, and I was like, let's just creep up again. And yeah, we've just been chilling in reds. And yeah, it's been pretty good. Probably a little bit keen, honestly. I would probably be leveling fast if I stayed in yellows just because my boss damage does slow down a little bit. Since we're just on level 19 gems still. And on the 5-link and everything. But, you know, I've been pretty happy with it. So I can only imagine how good this will feel once I get that Chaos Multicraft on my bow, because the reason why that craft is so important is obviously, one, it's a big wad of damage, but also it's damage that scales both the Tarke and the Essence Drain. Because I haven't got a cluster jewel set up yet, and because I haven't got that bow set up yet, my Essence Drain is very lacking in damage because it's not getting all that much scale. No, we'll wait, we'll do that. And another one. It's not getting all that much scaling from my tree and everything at the moment. So as soon as I get like a nice fat like 50 multi on gear, then we're really making some noise. I spent a lot of currency trying to get dot multi on gloves. I don't know if the weighting on it is a bit weird with the Exarch influence. I threw maybe, I just said I was going to wear that. I threw in maybe 15. And they were all attack based, like flat damage to spells, flat damage to attacks of like all the different elements, spheres. I think I eventually stopped on attack because I'm like, okay, this is getting silly now. It's a little bit annoying. It's kind of fun in a way, but PUEDB and all that sort of stuff, like all the websites which tell you like what influence give what, they're kind of conflicting in their info, so it's a bit hard to know what is what, which is kind of cool because it means discovery, but in SSF, when you've got limited funds, it's a little bit like, ooh. Let's see, we've got a Chaos E, nice. And socket link, so we get 6-link, that'd be cool. But yeah, super chill playstyle, as you can see. Withering Steps, how we're applying our Wither. Drop a Despair. Press Vol Blight when Vol Blight is up. You could run a Bane in your chest if you wanted to instead. You could run a Ballista Sodium if you wanted to instead. Nope. I've been hoarding a bunch of jewels because let's get some nice life. Getting some nice double damage life jewels will be a big thing because again it's global damage. It will scale everything nice and equally. Super satisfying pressing that Valve Light. What's that doing? What do I want to throw those into? I have got... Do I like my current gloves? Not particularly. Let's see if we can get some Chaos Multi Life Spell Suppression. In terms of spell suppression, I'm on 84%. We need just a little bit more. I may as well just quickly. Pretty good. Yeah, I need to cap up my spell suppression. Life Cold Map. Stick to life. So we need to get an additional 16% on my gloves. I am running a Carcass Jack. I'm not going to stay on the Carcass Jack. I'm going to go for a Sadist Garb. I'm just waiting for a good eye level 1 to drop, and then I'll craft it. Sacrifice a corrupted map. Create a new corrupted map with the same tier and rarity. Nope. Might as well just shove cold res on it. Or cold dot. And sorry, harvest isn't good for me thinking. That's what I was doing. I was describing the build, talk about content, how it's been feeling. Smooth. It's been feeling buttery smooth. Could highly recommend. One thing you could do, if you wanted to get very silly, is you could run a Maloney's quiver. You've got two options. There's replica Maloney's, which triggers spells. And then you've got normal Maloney's, which triggers attacks. If you wanted to be Essence Drain Contagion Gamer, then you could run a replica Maloney's and then put a 3-link Contagion in the replica Maloney's and have the Essence Drain in the hat. And then you can do your full combo. Don't do that. That would be dumb. That's pretty good with the chance to avoid being stunned. But that is something you could theoretically do. Theoretically. The main things... I might as well keep that. The main things we're really looking for currently is a dot multi-quiver. As I said, unlocking the dot multi-craft. When I unlock the dot multi-craft, I can just throw it on this bow. Then it's going to be picking our bow base that we're going to craft on. To craft a +3. Plus, ideally a +3 double multi-bow, but at the very least a +3 multi-bow. But considering that I'm running just a +2, no multi, it'll be pretty easy to get an upgrade there. Let's again just save doing all Master Wish and stuff. I'm dumb enough as it is that I'm to try and juggle League mechanics and communicate at the same time. Skill tree stuff is probably something people want to look at. Basically, as I planned it, I said it looks like a bow, therefore good skill tree. Currently filling in Fleetfoot for more cooldown on our movement skills, which is important for Withering Step uptime, because that's how we're applying our Wither, but also for Blink Arrowing around the map, so that once I've got all my Blink Arrow shenanigans set up, my Soul Rend, but I am still leveling in a weapon swap, I might try and run some maps just with Blink Arrow and Automated Soul Rend. One advantage that the Essence Drain does have over the Soul Rend, actually, from a gearing point of view, is it doesn't require 155 intelligence, which again was part of the reason why I'm not currently running a Bane. So we haven't got the int to support high level Bane. It's quite a big difference needing... Like, the difference between needing 100 stat and 155 stat matters, because that's 1 to 2 affixes on gear, which could be better served by either a damaging mod or a resistance mod on a piece. Wait, what's going on with this abyss? Oh. Strange. Or a resistance roll on a piece of gear, which then frees up a damaging mod on another piece. Especially with how valued spell suppression is currently. Suffixes are very competitive, and since we're running Asenath's Chant in the helmet, that's one less piece that you can get spell suppression on. So having the flexibility in your gear is super important. So it's a Sunny start being messing around with like, oh, let me get 55 in on a ring is like. These are the nice thing about running Purity of Elements is it does make the gear very soft in that sense. So the slots where we can get damage, we can get a lot of damage. Like we can get double multi-quivers. We can get quite a lot of damage on rings, surprisingly. Belts are a pretty good slot as well now. And yeah, it's just like, do you really want to be sacrificing? It's not like, how am I going to phrase this? It's not like we're like an elemental attack build where you can get damage on pretty much every single slot and it's all super high value. In this build, it's like where you're getting the damage, you want to get it. So like, for example, chaos damage implicit on your rings is a real big one because it's not that easy to get chaos damage on rings otherwise. It's like you're using that and maybe like an essence to force on a chaos damage craft. And then, you know, if you're having to use resist rings, then, well, you're missing out on damage there. Or, you know, if you don't have to use the resist rings, you can instead use the life rings implicit, which is then very valuable, and then that frees up your skill tree for life node. So it's like, it all kind of... Basically what I'm trying to say is suffixes are good, and generally I like to have them. I like my gear to do things that make build good. I also want to try and get 100% reduced curse effect on this character, which is kind of like if I'm going to have any fluffy suffixes, then I would spend them there. So we can get 20% on the tree, and I believe you can get it on rings and chests. Can you get it on chests now? I feel like you can. I need to look into that. As I said, I haven't really spent that much time POBing this build. It was kind of just one of those things of I planned out a very loose tree, just started leveling it, and then I've been doing that thing where you just play the game. It's I really enjoy Path of Building. Like I can happily spend weeks upon weeks just like staring at builds, looking at PB Ninja, but because I know that I can do that, it's very important for me sometimes to just be like, no, just play the game, Tarke. Put map in map device, run map, put another map in map device, run map. And if you're in that point of the league where you're like starting to get a bit like, how do I make my damage go up? If you're the kind of person who will spend 8 hours just staring at Path of Building, then you'd probably be better off just continuing to put maps into the map device. Even if you were like leveling a new character, you're probably better off doing that than just like losing a couple of days to PoE Ninja staring. Speaking of, actually, since you know we all we do is get confusing gear, we got a near max rolled Searing Touch today, which was pretty neat. Look at that, 89 on the percent fire damage on 57 on the fire dot multi, and we got a Rimnoir's Resolve. So I think I'm definitely going to be playing a fire build at some point. We also got this, which isn't anything special, but like you could Varl it and maybe get like a Corrupting Blood implicit with a double dot multi-duel. But yeah, thinking like a Fire Trapper or something, or a Wave of Conviction Fire Trapper, because we get that level 2120. 2120 Wave of Conviction. Is it 2123? No, it's 2120. Also got a 21 Frost Bomb today, which I know Frost Bomb was a build. People were doing it with Pledge of Hands. I always thought that looked kind of cool. You really wanted the Woke Spell Cascade for that, though. The way it worked. And also, with when they nerfed Second Wind, cooldown recovery, didn't that hurt that build really hard? Because didn't that build used to run Second Wind? I don't know. I put map in map device, so I run map. That's all I need to worry about. Is it a map? Yes. Is it in the map device? No? Okay, put it in the map device. Alright, cool. I'm hoping to get back into... Like, I'm pretty much caught up. I'm the same level as my previous character now, so I kind of just want to go hard for maybe like 1-2 more days to make up for the lost time, to catch up on progress. We're planning to do a Bay class this Saturday coming. Not 100% confirmed it's going to be the Saturday or the Sunday, which is why I haven't put a timer out, but if you keep an eye on my Twitter, I will announce that and lock it in within the next 24 hours for either the Saturday or the Sunday. I'm considering... since Rise and Noogie are hogging out to Lost Ark vibes, we've spoken to Octavian and Ziggy, and we're considering bringing on some guests who I won't announce because obviously it might not happen, and that would feel bad, man. But yeah, potentially Baycast this Saturday or Sunday. If Rise and Noogie are busy doing Lost Ark stuff and they just want to focus on Lost Ark stuff, then we'll be bringing on 2 guests, so that should be fun. And I'm also thinking that for this episode, we won't do any boss conversation because a lot of people still trying to do that stuff blind. And I think it'd probably be better just to like leave that till the 2nd episode of the league. And then we can like go really heavy on it and not need to worry about people being like, oh, I don't want spoilers and blah, 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 blah. Because there's also quite a high likelihood that some things might get changed. At least I hope some things might get changed, because there are some things about the bosses that I don't like, but whatever. Or at least the mini bosses. I haven't done Exarch and ETX of the reroll. That's another big thing. I really want to catch up on that progress. Hoping to get that down. I could get that down by tomorrow in this character. Day after tomorrow for sure. Oh, that's the point. I got the Zoth bow, which was also kind of interesting, because we've been getting all this like ignite gear. I don't know if the changed burning arrow, like it's now a much harder, much slower hit, which seems kind of interesting. Seems like they're trying to really encourage people building around Vol burning arrow. I was like, incursion people, what are they called? They're called the Vol. Yeah, I'm quite tired. I haven't been sleeping very well. I don't think it shows, right? I'm pretty sure it does show. We're starting to get back into a semi-normal sleep schedule. My sleep always gets really bad around league starts for obvious reasons. I end up like flipping onto a New Zealand sleep schedule, and then I'm like making 1 million videos a day, and not fun. Why are a lot of bosses ghosted now, by the way? Because I haven't got anything which ghosts the bosses on my Atlas, and it's not like a map device, not like a map mod thing, but I've noticed that a lot of bosses are just randomly tormented, which I think is cool because it's more quant. But yeah, what's that about? Go away, Tane. Does anyone actually like running Tane? I mean, obviously somebody does, because you know, that's how people work. Gonna get my expedition nodes. I have to say the expedition nodes, the ones that give increased increased detonations and detonation area of effect, feels really good. You get to the point where you get all of the chests, you get all of the things. That's just rude. 100% of the time, and it's very satisfying getting. You don't even have to think, because you just get all of the expedition. I mean, I guess you still need to plan out the order. You need to get all of the expedition in the right order. That was a bit rippy. Should have just stood behind the tree. What is this guy? Powerful crits, hexproof. Oh god, I kind of built a bit of a good final boss of the video, I suppose. Is he multi-proj as well, by the looks? Yeah, he must be multi-proj because of all these wolves. Yeah, that's definitely a multi-proj. The hexproof is rough. That's the main thing I miss about being an occultist. Not the profane bloom, but being able to deal with hexproof. Hexproof on chaos dot builds really hurts because of how reliant you are on despair for your damage. It's why I didn't like the fact that GG added a chaos res aura, because there's just so few sources of chaos pen. There's actually a 3-point poison node that I'm considering, which is right next to the top aura node in my build, and the 3rd point gives enemies poisoned by you have 5% minus chaos res. We incidentally poison because we're spamming essence drains and everything into the boss, and it like maths out something like 2.5% damage per point. It's actually like a lot higher than that because of the amount of just random sources of chaos throws in the game now. So whenever you're running into chaos resistance, it's worth even more. It's just it is 3 points, and the other points do nothing for me. It's this up here. Any poison you have -5 chaos resist, and then chance to poison. And we get a safe house. Looks like we did. I'm a very big fan of the. It's okay. Has life, has chaos res. I really want to get a good pair of recoup rings. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do that, which is a shame because I like the idea of running good recoup rings. You know what I really like the idea of? I think this is a very realistic SSF goal. I really want the Legion stasis chest. You know, the chest, which is literally the rarest item in the game. The chest, there was only like 2 of them in all of last league. That chest would be really nice. I really like Temporal Rift. I think Temporal Rift is my favorite ability that's been added to Path of Exile in recent leagues. I think it's really fun to play with. If I can get an Enlighten, Temporal Rift is going to my build 100%. The problem is I need an Enlighten to fit it in. But as soon as I get one, it's going in. Like, oh. Let's run the safe house, see if we get the Chaos Multicraft. What is that? We're just like, we're not even caring about setting up our board. We're just spamming. Just like, yeah, do the thing. Fill it in. Give me the crafts. Give me the crafts. Once I've gotten all the crafts, I might stay with the Betrayal spec just to farm Katarina. Because the Kata staffs are pretty fun. And a lot of the builds that I'm maybe going to be playing later in the league would work really well with the Kata staff. So like the Searing Touch is great, but it kind of pales in comparison to it like a nice Kata staff. It's just, I think the other thing which is neat about the Kata staffs is I run incredibly strict loot filters. Like I often run loot filters that only work for 1 to 2 builds at a time. I don't do like super wide filters where I'm like, I'm picking up weapons, I'm picking up daggers and wands and all. Like I don't do that. So when you have something like the Kata staff, which is so flexible, and the fact that it can put you into so many different directions, like, oh, you're going to do a Fizz hit build, or you're going to do an elemental build with it, or you're going to go spells, or you're going to go dot, or you're going to do this, or blah, 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 blah. It's kind of a fun item, because it gives me the option to play a bunch of different builds without me having to add, like, a million different weapon bases onto my filter. And again, the reasoning, I explained this in a previous video, but the reasoning of why I do that, by having such a strict filter, it allows me to be looser within that build. So because I have so few bases on my filter, it allows me to show loads of bow bases and like loads of quiver bases, and I'm not picking up excessive loot. Does that make sense? Whereas if you were playing a traditional Trade League style filter, where you're like, oh, I'm going to pick up the best weapon bases for Helix, and I'm going to pick up the best one bases, and I need rune daggers for this guy, I need the top armor, and the top ES, and the top this, and the hybrids, and the blah, 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 blah. You then can't really afford to be picking up lots of random incidental stuff. And if you are, then you're picking up too much stuff, like you're just going to be filling up your inventory every 2 seconds. So yeah, hopefully that kind of makes sense. Alright, the Claw could give it. We're looking for weapons. Ooh, Elrion rings would be nice. Oh, which one's that? Vivinsect. +5 level, stocked aura gems. Reduce reservation efficiency. Generate life for each uncorrupted. Huh. It's interesting. That is an interesting one. +5 level of socket aura gems. Non-unique amulet into a tier 2 talisman. I don't think I even have any good non-unique amulets that want to turn into a talisman. Augment with a new modifier. Yeah, I think we just hope to get good resist on these boots. Right. Can I count? I can't count. Never mind. Right, that definitely has an open suffix. Wait, am I actually a moron? Wait. What? Am I being thick? This is the Leo Exalt, right? I think I'm being thick. Or did we already add it onto the boots? Did I already add it? I think I already added it to the boots, right? Did my boots have cold res? I don't know if they did. You know how earlier on I said I think I'm tired, and I think it shows? I think I added the cold res. Because I think these had fire res before. If I got 36 cold res with these boots, that was a real nice org. I feel like it didn't do anything. I feel like there should have been like an effect. Yeah, I must have got the cold res on the boots. Oh, that's neat. Oh, cool. Cold res boots. Nice. Thanks, Leo. Did I? Yeah, I don't think I was that positive on cold res. Question mark. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, I think I got the cold res. Okay, let's let's throw his hunter gloves in there. Let's see what we got in this Viv insect ring. Yeah, maybe I need to have a nap after this video. Right, okay. Ooh. Frenzy or power charges are interesting. I don't know what I would use this in. What would I use this in? I kind of don't take the power charges just because I haven't got the power charges, and frenzy charges are easier to get now. Well, that's a higher number. That's a 4 rather than a 3. Ooh. I guess we'll take the frenzy. It's more generic. And we might maybe do something with that at some point. Alright, Chaos Multi, please. None of those are Chaos Multi. That's sad. Alright, did we at least unlock any new? Come on, give me something new. Because we're still missing a lot. Like, I'm missing a lot of craft still. Okay, let's sell off this junk. And then we'll dive back in. And hopefully craft up a tasty ring. Not a tasty ring. Interesting. Gonna try and craft up those hunter gloves. So, quality them up. I can't believe that thing with the boots earlier. I was so confused. Okay. Right. Speed. Operation. Go. Yeah, that's not speed. And or operation. Okay. Oh, oh, wow. Those are nice. I want to keep an open pre. Wow. Huh. Damn, I think that's my new gloves. So that's the amount of spell suppression we needed as well. We're gonna lose some life. Damn. I don't even mind the rarity, to be honest. I mean, I would have preferred to have hit something with more value, but rarity is always okay in SSF. But that's enough to cap out our spell suppression. We need to, it is exactly enough, huh? I need an additional 10% though, because that is with the full life node from here. But I'll take exactly 100% spell suppression when I'm on full life, dropping down to 90 if I've taken a hit recently. That's pretty good. So yeah, we're gonna lose a little bit of life. And we'll lose actually a fair chunk of evasion because these gloves have more evasion, and then I'm going to lose the evasion scaling off the boots. Oh, it's not that much. It's only like 300 in it. It's pretty good. Yeah, 25k evasion without anything active is a pretty nice starting base, considering we're going to get more evasion from taking Fleetfoot. And we'll get more evasion when we replace the Carcass Jack for a Sadist Scarb. We're getting a good chunk from these Quiver. That's a thing to look out for on builds like this. If you can craft the evasion and energy shield, you can craft this on Quiver and belts. Super strong. Super, super strong. But yeah, dude, I'm happy with that. Oh, we've got a nice clean 4,500 life exact. Well, we won't once we put the craft in there, but damn, that's a nice way to round out the video. Okay then, well, I'm Tarke. Have a good day. Thank you, Tiny, by the way. Bye-bye.